going on, guys? Sam Adams here in the PlayStation Nation, baby! Yeah! So for those that might be wondering why I'm freaking out, the PlayStation Experience 2016 press conference just wrapped up, and there were a lot of PlayStation-centric announcements that got a lot of people excited. The crowd was really hyped up and energetic, and that's one thing that I really loved about this year's press conference. But this is the third annual PlayStation Experience, and it does seem to get better every single year. But there were a ton of announcements, too many for me to cover right here in this video. So if you want to check out all of the announcements and all of the new information coming out of PlayStation Experience 2016 over the course of the next few days, as the event does last all weekend, I do encourage you to head over to blog.us.playstation.com, and there you can find a ton of coverage on this year's PlayStation Experience. But as for right now, I went through, made some notes on some of my favorite announcements, and so I thought we would go through and check out some of this year's biggest reveals. So number 1, The Last of Us Part 2, the sequel to the first Last of Us that came out on the PlayStation 3 and then was quickly remastered for the PlayStation 4 towards the launch of the console. And I have to say, it's one of the most iconic PlayStation experiences that I've ever had, and Naughty Dog is looking to continue that trend with The Last of Us Part 2. Now, the trailer opens up with Ellie, an older version of Ellie, but still Ellie, singing and playing the acoustic guitar, and I have to admit, it's quite a somber tune she is playing. And then as you kind of go through the trailer, the engine is really shown off because this thing is running on a brand new engine over at Naughty Dog, and you're shown a beautiful neighborhood or a couple of houses that's been wildly overgrowing for the last couple of years, it appears, a broken down car, some other stuff that really just captures the power of the engine, and then you're shown the Firefly logo, a pretty big tie-in to the plot of The Last of Us Part 2, meaning that pretty much the events have remained the same, and it's just forward in the timeline a couple of years. Now, as the trailer does go on, you're brought back into the house that Ellie has infiltrated, and you're shown a couple of dead bodies that it's pretty evident Ellie has killed these people. And then as she continues playing the guitar and singing her somber song, another guy appears in the doorway holding a handgun, and it is Joel from the original Last of Us. And it is a very impactful moment because it means that pretty much this is a continuation of the story that everyone fell in love with in the PlayStation universe. Now, as Joel does make his way through the house, he eventually finds the room that Ellie's in, and he kind of leans against the door and he listens to her play guitar and sing for a couple of seconds there, and then he says, "Are you really going to go through with this?" And she looks up and she says, "I'm going to find and I'm going to kill every last one of them." That is a very impactful trailer. That's how it's done the Naughty Dog way. So the question is, who is the them that Ellie is talking about? Who are they? Are they the Fireflies? Are they infected? Are they lab workers? We don't really know yet, and I expect to find out more as more information is revealed about The Last of Us Part 2 as development does continue, because as Sean Layden said, it is very early in development. But that being said, if Part 2 is anything like Part 1, and I would suspect that it is, The Last of Us is a franchise that is better experienced than research, so I would encourage you to play this one firsthand before actually finding out about the plot, because otherwise the entire game is pretty much for loss in my opinion. Now for number 2, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. This is not a game that I expected to see, but one that I'm very excited about as an avid fan of Uncharted. Pretty much The Lost Legacy appears to follow the story of Chloe from Uncharted 2 and Nadine from Uncharted 4, as they appear to have some kind of coalition going on. They are in fact working together, and that is a very interesting kind of idea, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But 2 specific details really make me excited about The Lost Legacy in particular. The game is coming directly from Naughty Dog themselves. According to a post on the official Twitter for Naughty Dog, this is a game that they are making. This is not a project that has been outsourced to some company while they make The Last of Us Part 2. Rather, this is a project that has passion, meaning there is an actual purpose behind the game, which gets me very excited to see what other kinds of stories we can get from the Uncharted universe. Now, on top of that, I'm excited, like I said, to see other sides of the universe, because as much as I love Nathan Drake and as much as I love Sully and all of these main characters, I want to see more. I want to see the backstories of Sully. I never thought that I would see Chloe from Uncharted 2 again. Nadine, I couldn't really see her working without Chloe, but even that story I'm very excited about, just to see other perspectives of the Uncharted universe other than Nathan Drake. I'm very excited about that and cannot wait to see what The Lost Legacy has to offer us Uncharted fans. Next up, Harappa the Rappa, Loco Roco, and Patapon are all getting remastered on the PlayStation 4. Those are some words that I never thought that I would say. Now, as you probably picked up on, PlayStation Experience is definitely for the hardcore of the hardcore, especially those of us that are PlayStation fans. And so to have Harappa the Rappa, Loco Roco, and Patapon being remastered on the PlayStation 4, you can only get that kind of audience reaction at the PlayStation Experience, and that's exactly what they got at this year's press conference. Now, of course, all three of these games are very, very iconic franchises for the entire PlayStation family, and so to see them giving the proper recognition at this year's PlayStation Experience and also to be given a proper treatment for the remaster, bringing it to the PlayStation 4, that just makes me happy to see, and that's why it gets number 3 on my top 5. Now for number 4, Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy gameplay. Whenever this was announced at E3, number 1, I actually couldn't believe it was real. Number 2, I was pretty on the fence about whether this was actually going to be good or not, because they could very easily hear what the public is crying for and just give us kind of a re-release on the PlayStation 4, touch up the graphics here a little bit, up-res the entire game. You can do these kind of things, but as you can see from this gameplay right here, the games have literally been rebuilt from the ground up, it appears. These are brand new games that kind of capture what they were going for back in the day and bringing it to the PlayStation 4. It pretty much captures that PlayStation 1 experience, but remakes it for this generation. Taking that into account, the Insane Trilogy is not pushing the boundaries of what the PlayStation 4 is capable of by any stretch of the imagination. The game looks fine, but with Crash Bandicoot, it's really all about the gameplay. So, you know, it's not a hyper-realistic Crash Bandicoot that's so realistic you can probably smell the fur of the Bandicoot. That's not what you're getting with the Insane Trilogy. Rather, it's pretty much just, like I said, a recreation of those original games that looks great on the PlayStation 4 for fans of the originals and the new fans to enjoy. That's pretty dang cool. Now for number 5, the new Horizon Zero Dawn trailer that was released. That was a very interesting trailer, and my god, is this game beautiful. Horizon Zero Dawn does so much right with the art style, with the graphics themselves. Guerrilla Games has really outdone themselves if the trailers do the game itself justice. However, what is within the trailer itself? Pretty much a narrator is describing the wilderness, and he's also describing the dangers of the wilderness and saying the hunter will become the hunted. That is inevitable. Now, as the trailer does go on, you're shown more of that gorgeous, gorgeous gameplay, and then you're also shown a couple of plot points. Nothing that's absolutely majorly revealing and it's going to ruin the game for you, but it does give players kind of an idea of what they can expect. Now, if I'm understanding what's going on here correctly, pretty much you're going to have to go out and kill all these technological beasts and harvest them for their parts. Now, whenever you get enough parts, you can then gain access to something in this garage of sorts that's presented towards the end of the trailer, which will then give you access to whatever is in the earth. Now the question is, what is actually within the earth? Is there some kind of underground society that's been kind of encapsulated by this wilderness that you are actually playing in? Is it some kind of biotech lab? Is there more technology down there that you can use to your advantage? And this is just some kind of way of disguising an armory? I don't know what exactly is going on, but I guarantee you we will find out when Horizon Zero Dawn does ship next year. Now, like I said, these are just a few of the big announcements from this year's press conference, and if you want to stay up to date on all of those and all the other information coming from PlayStation Experience 2016 over the course of the weekend, I encourage you to follow me on Twitter at PrettyChillGuy. You can follow the official PlayStation at PlayStation account. You can follow a ton of other people, and also I encourage you to follow all of your favorite PlayStation developers if you did want to stay up to date on what they are doing. But as for right now, that about wraps it up for me. I do hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, drop it a like down below and share it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, whatever you might use for your social networking. And if you happen to be new here, I do encourage you to head over there and check out some of my other content, because I do upload new videos throughout the week, so there's always new stuff right here on the channel when you drop by to watch some videos. But as for right now, I'm going to go watch some more PlayStation Experience 2016 coverage. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.